JBN, we keep you informed. Missing St. Andrew man found dead with gunshot wounds. The police are reporting that 49-year-old Owen Chung of Taylorland, 9 miles in St. Andrew, who was reported missing last week Friday, has been found dead in his community. The police say Chung's decomposing body was found about 5:30 yesterday afternoon in a shallow grave. They say the body had gunshot wounds. The crime scene was processed and the body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem. Holness leaves island to visit Seaga in hospital. Prime Minister Andrew Holness left the island yesterday morning for the United States to visit former Prime Minister Edward Seaga, who is in hospital in Florida. Seaga, who served as Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister between 1980 and 1989, was admitted to hospital in serious condition last week. The former Jamaica Labour Party JLP leader is reportedly being treated for cancer. According to the Office of the Prime Minister, Holness will return to the island on Wednesday evening when he is expected to update the nation on Seaga's condition. Seaga is the last surviving member of the framers of the Jamaican Constitution. He served as JLP leader for 31 years and as Member of Parliament MP for West Kingston for 43 years. From 1962 until his retirement in 2005, the longest ever by a Jamaican politician. He turns 89 on May 28. During Holness' brief absence from the island, Audley Shaw, Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, was in charge of the government. Pinnock denies claim CMU paid for Ruel Reid's birthday party. President of Caribbean Maritime University CMU, Dr. Fritz Pinnock, has denied claims that the institution hosted a birthday party for discarded Education, Youth and Information Minister Ruel Reid. Further, Pinnock dismissed allegations that CMU paid for a 50th birthday party for Reid at a hotel on the North Coast. I will state categorically that CMU did not host any birthday party, Pinnock declared as he was grilled by opposition members of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee PAAC of Parliament during a meeting yesterday. CMU did not pay for birthday parties, he insisted. In March, the parliamentary opposition publicly raised questions about whether the East Kingston-based institution hosted a birthday party for Reid aboard a yacht. What you saw was an industry function, which included members of the tertiary sector that were there, said Pinnock, responding to questions from opposition member of the PAAC, Fitz Jackson. Pinnock also said as president of the CMU he was never assigned an advisor, but confirmed that former Jamaica Labour Party JLP Member of Parliament Othniel Lawrence was hired as an advisor to the institution. He confirmed the report that Lawrence was hired on April 1, 2018 at an annual salary of just over $5 million. 2 months after Lawrence signed the contract, the JLP announced that Reid would replace him as constituency caretaker in St. Ann Northwest. In June last year, Reid was confirmed as Lawrence's replacement as the St. Ann Northwest caretaker. Lawrence said at the time that he gave up the constituency because he felt it was time to step away from representational politics. Witness said he was threatened by Clarendon death squad member. A Clarendon man who testified that he saw his friend being shot and killed by a police corporal in February 2012 broke down on the witness stand on Tuesday as he related details of the incident. The man then killed my friend for no reason, and me see it clear, the witness said, weeping. He was later allowed to leave the witness box to compose himself. Before he left, however, Queen's Counsel Valerie Nita Robertson was overheard saying, "Perform, man, perform." The man, a construction worker who was deported from the United States of America, was given evidence in the so-called death squad trial in the Home Circuit Court, where Detective Corporal Kevin Adams and Constable Jerome White are being tried for the alleged murder of Anthony Toby Trout at his home on 1st Street in Maple, Clarendon. Nita Robertson is the lead attorney for Adams. The witness, who began his testimony on Monday, told the court that on the day of the incident, both policemen arrived at his house looking for his friend, but he was not there. He said the two accused were accompanied by 4 other policemen armed with both long and short guns. He said before they left, Adams threatened him, saying, "We are going to leave, and if me come back, you are going dead." The witness told the court that he replied, "You ain't got to kill anybody, 'cause we not wrongdoers here. Early in the proceedings, the witness told the court that on the day in question, he was in his bedroom smoking a cigarette with another man, identified only as Barris, who was smoking a spliff, when the accused cops entered the house brandishing their firearms. He said the cops were not dressed in uniform. The witness said White was standing just outside the door in the living room area. At this juncture, the witness said Adams asked him if he knew who he was. "Is you them call Addy?" the witness said he asked in response, adding that there was no answer from Adams. The witness said Adams began asking about Trout's whereabouts. The witness said he told Adams, "Him no there." He told the court that Adams asked him once more, but he gave the same response. The witness said Adams exited the room, went to the kitchen, and eventually went outside. He said he was called outside and threatened. The witness testified that he then noticed 4 other policemen dressed in denim coming from behind the house. According to him, as the policemen were leaving and about to cross a single-lane bridge leading to and from the community, they saw Trout approaching in a motor vehicle. Trout and a man identified only as Chacha stopped to allow the officers to cross the bridge, but after doing so, the officers turned their car around and pursued the two, the witness said. While continuing his evidence, the witness said that the officers alighted from their vehicle with weapons drawn as soon as the car with Trout stopped in front of his house, which was located on a dead-end street. Chacha came out with his hands halfway up, and Toby came out with his hands over his head, the witness said, noting that the men did not have anything in their hands. According to him, White approached Chacha and spoke to him, while Adams walked over to his friend and spoke to him as well, but he could not hear what was being said. At that point, I saw Adams raise his right shoulder, and then I heard 2 shots. Chacha ran off, and I run in the direction of where him shoot Toby, the witness testified. The witness said the remaining policemen who were present then walked over to where his friend was lying on the ground, and he heard several more shots, which were fired in the direction of Trout's house. 2 of the police personnel, he said, then picked up his friend's body and put it in the vehicle. "Look at what you made me do," he said. Adams told him before the cops left. "If I come back around here, all of you are going to disappear." The witness said he took a shortcut and went to the hospital, where sometime after he saw the police arriving with his friend's body. However, while he was being cross-examined by Nita Robertson, the witness said he had omitted the names of the 2 accused police officers when he first gave his statement to the Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM, in 2012, later adding them when he gave his second statement in 2014. He denied the suggestion that he only arrived at the hospital before the cops because he used a shorter route, insisting that he should have taken the police about 7 minutes of driving from where the incident occurred. He also refuted claims that he had been placed in the Witness Protection Program and that he was involved in the guns for drugs trade. He did confess, however, to having been convicted several times both locally and internationally for possessing, selling, and smuggling ganja. In one instance, he said he had been arrested for smuggling 6 tons of the drug. The witness also conceded to having racked up convictions for domestic abuse, smoking marijuana, resisting arrest, and bribery. On the further cross-examination, he told the court that on the day of the incident, Trout had just picked up his kids from school and had left them at his sister's house just before he crossed over the bridge to his death. Adams and White are among 13 cops from the Clarendon Police Division who INDECOM charged in 2014 for allegedly carrying out extrajudicial killings as part of a so-called death squad based in the parish. Adams, who was in custody from 2014, was offered bail in the sum of $5 million on April 25. He was freed of a murder charge earlier this year and is awaiting trial for another. "We will win crime war," says Chang. With additional security assets being deployed and investments being made in boosting accommodation for the security forces in Western Jamaica, the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, is expressing confidence in containing the criminal mayhem that sparked a spate of public emergency across 3 parishes. "I look forward to working with the 2JR, 2nd Battalion, Jamaica Regiment, and the other elements of the security forces, the police, to ensure we restore and maintain public safety and good order in Western Jamaica and undermine and continue to disrupt the gangs that really prove a threat to the people of this region," Dr. Horace Chang said at the opening ceremony for the Jamaica Defense Forces JDF Burke Barracks in Flankers, St. James. The minister said the security forces remain dedicated to their mission of reducing lawlessness in the island. I am confident that it's a battle we will win. It has its challenges, but the government is committed to giving its support in making the required investment, said Chang, adding that adequate infrastructure and programs are needed to make a life of crime less attractive. The police force will have appropriate infrastructure, both equipment and personnel, and the formations to ultimately destroy and disrupt the gangs that are a threat to our social stability, and at the same time working through the JNSC, the Jamaica National Service Corps, and other agencies of government to provide our young men and young women alternatives to criminal lifestyles. The new Burke Barracks, which is the first of two-story dormitory buildings, equipped to accommodate 264 military personnel, forms part of an investment valued at $1.6 billion to host the members of the 2nd Battalion Jamaica Regiment, whose operations have been relocated from Hub Park Camp in St. Andrew to Flankers. This particular development started on June 1, 2018. There are two phases. The first, which is valued at some $708 million, involves land reclamation, the construction of this two-story accommodation to house 264 personnel, and the construction of a sewage treatment plant, said Chang. The security minister said a second building, which has similar amenities and is currently under construction, is valued at $896 million. Chang said the investment is the first phase of establishing a geographic command unit of the Jamaica Defence Force, which will cover the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, and Trelawney. The government will further build out a base in Montpelier, St. James, and other locations in the region, which will enable a more efficient approach in the JDF operations in Western Jamaica, said Chang. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.